morning once again. It's time for the news review.
Yes, it is.
The AM show, and then Nemo has joined me. Good morning to you.
Hello, Israel. I love the way you say Nemo has joined me. I have joined you. Okay, so this morning I have the daily graphic. Yeah. Not sure why. Why do I have the daily graphic, Israel?
I didn't want you to make a fuss over me.
That's not even fair, because yesterday I didn't make a fuss.
Okay, but you tend to, so.
Anyways, apparently it's raining out there quite heavily, so do stay safe. If you're driving, be extra careful. If you're driving, you wouldn't be hearing this, but and if you're home and you're setting out, it's raining, so get an umbrella.
Well, unless you're driving and your kids are in the back of the vehicle with a tablet.
And they're watching Facebook.
You're watching JoyNews.
Okay. All right. Anyway, so let's get straight into the headlines.
And by the way, yes, you can watch JoyNews on Facebook and you can watch on YouTube as well.
Yeah. Okay. Stephanie?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So front page of the daily graphic.
Okay, the fact that you have it doesn't mean that you should start.
Would you like to start?
Yeah.
Why are you heckling me this morning?
Oh, no, I'm not.
I'm going to start. Or should we do MP instead MP? Okay, I'm starting. Daily graphic this morning. I'm relieved Ayariga expresses joy as special prosecutor drops charges. And that case was in court yesterday. And of course, charges have been dropped. NPA removes fuel levies, prices to reduce. So that's good news. President receives Serbia's highest award. Did you find out what he received the award for? Because you were asking.
Yeah.
What did he receive it for?
For improving relations between Ghana and Serbia.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Well, okay, let me just go to it.
Yes, please.
So it says, for exceptional merits in developing and strengthening cooperation and friendly relations between the Republic of Serbia and the Republic of Ghana.
Is it because our coach is Serbian?
Well, it could be.
It could be because, yeah, anyways, okay. Anything else that you want to add to that? No. Okay, 4 parties support...
Except, this... So he was at the non-aligned movement, and I'm wondering what the impact of the non-aligned movement has been. It was formed so many years ago by... Well, Kwame Nkrumah happened to be one of the founding members of the non-aligned movement. But yeah, I'm wondering what has been the impact. We talk about the G8, we talk about, all the other blocks. And we want to know, I mean, it's clear how much influence they wield. But the non-aligned movement, as far as I'm concerned, is like a movement of...
No, I'm sure say some deal go pie. You watch this space. Yeah. This going there, it wasn't just a going there. Some deal definitely go by.
Okay.
Anyway, other stories on the front page of the daily graphic. 4 parties support LGBTQI plus bill. 1 opposes the draft law. Okay, let's just do a quick overview. Trial over murder of Sankara opens. So the trial of 14 people accused of plotting to assassinate Burkina Faso's former President Thomas Sankara started yesterday. There's an opinion piece up the Equiapim Ridge. In politics, initiate processes for election of MMDCEs. That's according to Franklin Kujo. NPP targets 170 seats in 2024. John Boydu, Mental Health Authority cries for more funding. Arrest shame polluters of the environment. The Paramount's chief of Mpoho has been speaking. 75 solar firms face collapse. 5 relocates to other countries. Black Stars seek double over Warriors today. Okay.
The bit about Thomas Sankara, we used to have a Sankara Circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even though it's been changed to Akwaje Interchange, a lot of people still refer to it as
Sankara Circle, yeah. Okay, putting science at the heart of development. Okay, then there's also an opinion piece that him here, queer debate. Of course, the LGBTQI plus argument is really just ravaging like a wildfire. Divided opinions and all of that. New COVID-19 drug cuts risk of severe disease. That's AstraZeneca. They said that their new COVID-19 antibody cocktail actually has helped cut the risk of severe disease or deaths in a late-stage study. So the pharmaceutical company announced the results yesterday, making a boost in its efforts to develop COVID-19 medicines beyond the vaccine. So interesting there. Who knows, maybe something good will come out of the whole COVID-19 thingy. Government moves to reduce fuel levies, prices to reduce in the coming days. So the plans are being made by the government to zero the price stabilization and recovery levy on petrol, diesel, and liquefied petroleum gas for 2 months. Now, this proposal has been approved by El Presidente as a measure to cushion consumers against soaring fuel prices. So hopefully you can expect that your petrol and diesel will drop a few pesos over the next few days. International Day of the Girl Child commemorated in Accra, and that was yesterday. Still fighting for equality, amongst human beings, I guess, girls and boys. President Akufo-Addo receives Serbia's highest awards. That's Israel's favorite story for today. Trade ministers reaffirm commitments to AFCFTA. Sisala West MP supports 2 communities. NPP targets 170 seats in 2024. Okay, which is very ambitious considering how they did in the last elections. Also, obviously trying to break the 8, so we'll see how that goes. Oh, Israel, your friend.
Okay.
The man who was busted with 656 ATM cards has been remanded again. Okay, so he's called Bachir Musa Aminu, facing 2 counts of electronic trafficking and stealing at the court. Presided over by Ms. Asama, was remanded to allow the banks involved to respond to the prosecution's claim against the accused person as part of ongoing investigation. So I guess it's to find out from the banks how he was able to do all of that. Mental Health Authority cries for more funding. Government is being urged to create effective psychiatric wings in hospitals. We had that conversation extensively yesterday, and we will continue to have it until something is done. Arrest shame polluters of the environment. That's the paramount chief of Impoho. And then this story about solar firms facing collapse. 75 solar firms apparently. So these firms are under threat due to what they describe as unfair policies and regulations in the industry. Already 5 of them have started preparations to relocate to Liberia and Sierra Leone as the solar business has become unprofitable in the country. And this puts about 700 jobs on the line. The Secretary of the Association of Ghana Solar Industries said the government is continuously using regulations and policies to stifle the growth of solar energy in the country. He said it started with a moratorium on utility-scale solar projects, which prevented private companies from developing utility solar projects in the country. And then there was a directive that said no private solar company should do mini grids because it was now going to be a government-led activity. Anyway, so obviously that sector not thriving. Okay, Black Stars seek double over Warriors today. There's a match against Zimbabwe. It's in Harare at 1 p.m. today. So we'll see how that will go. If we can do that, that would be great. 3 arrested for alleged murder and sale of body. So 3 men have been arrested in the Volta region over the alleged murder of a 30-year-old man and then attempted to sell the body to a fetish priest. The police said the body of the deceased, who is Albert Enyidad, was being sold for 7,000 Ghana cedis to the fetish priest. Can you imagine? It doesn't seriously. The police apparently were informed about the deal. Then they feigned interest and then went to negotiate with the people. They were offering 7,000 cedis. So then the parties agreed to meet at a location near El Lagoon at Agaveji for the buyers to receive the body. In his Sanepone. Oh boy, the things that go on. Anyway, Buduburam camp demolition on hold. That's it for the Daily Graphic.
Okay, so let's move to the Times. Where against LGBTQ plus activities, Catholic bishops restate position.
Apparently yesterday, I think was the Assemblies of God that also joined in the afternoon.
Okay, so yes, a number of religious bodies and organizations seem to be making stating their position. So the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference has reinforced its stance against lesbians, gays, bisexuals, transgenders, and queers activities in the country. According to the president of the conference, Most Reverend Philip Name, the Catholic Church continues to support the proper human sexual rights and family values bill that seeks to criminalize such activities. So yes, and this was in reaction to that CNN interview, well, CNN story, and they interviewed a Catholic priest, and he had said something, but okay, so they're coming back to say, no, this is our position, and ignore that one. So let's check the other stories. So President decorated with Serbia's highest state honor at a ceremony in Belgrade. And so the story, so President Duran Akufo-Addo has been decorated with the Medal of the Republic of Serbia. That's the highest state honor. And we go to court adjourns #1 case to November 22. So let me look for that story as well. That story have #1 every now and then popping up. And this follows #1 coming out to say that, or the institution coming out to say that, well, we're going to be paying you people, but there are some people who have presented fake claims and all of that. But yeah, it's interesting. So the Accra Circuit Court on Monday adjourned to November 22 the case in which Nana Pia Mensah, also known as #1, the chief executive of Men's Gold Ghana Limited, a standing trial for allegedly duping customers of 1.6 billion cedis. That's a lot of money. It's because the police prosecutors had not received the advice from the Attorney General's department. But there are some too who are saying that, I mean, the money could be a whole lot more than 1.6 billion. Okay, let's check the other stories. On page 3 of the Ghanaian Times, 3 nabbed for allegedly murdering man at Agavaji. I'm sure the story, you protest that story, a bit of that story. A man arrested for alleged theft at OEB. Banker remanded for defiling 13-year-old niece. And the story goes, an Accra Circuit Court has remanded into police custody Emmanuel Kofi Addo, a banker, for allegedly defiling his 13-year-old niece at New Wager, Accra. Addo, who is accused of defiling the victim since she was 11 years, pleaded not guilty for defilement. And then Ethiopian army starts ground attack on rebellious Tigray. African scientists' historic malaria breakthrough celebrated by peers. And the story goes, the World Health Organization's decision to recommend the widespread use of a long-awaited vaccine against malaria is an endorsement of the African scientists involved in developing it. A top official in the global health body told CNN on Thursday. Migrants in Libya fearful, angry after crackdown and killings. Large oil facility in crisis hit. Large fire at oil facility in crisis hit Lebanon. Chinese floods displaced 2 million people. So more than 1.76 million people have been affected by severe flooding in China's northern Shanxi province, according to local media. Torrential rain last week led to houses collapsing and triggered landslides across more than 70 districts and cities in the province. So if they say more than 2 million people have been displaced by floods, that's like you're looking at the whole of Accra displaced by flooding. But these things tend to happen in China because they have a huge population. Okay, and they live in mega cities. So, all right, we moving on. Survey market before embarking on agric production. That's the agric department saying that. And fetish priest standing trial for murder dies in custody. Begin processes for creation of Guan constituency. All right. The fetish priest who died.
It's just so convenient. Like, it's just so convenient.
But you want to think that, you know, people like that, they can free themselves from jail.
Like they can become invincible and kind of, yeah.
Or could it be that he's left his body and
yeah, and then when they bring the body out, then he will, or maybe he'll get into another person. We sound like we're writing a Ghanaian movie or something.
All right, and supporters asked to tolerate MPP MPs absence from functions. So he explained that due to the hung parliament, MPP MPs were required to push through government policies instead of being in their constituencies, and their absence would affect the government's policies to accelerate socio-economic development of the country. So the MPP MPs are saying that if you find out that we're not coming to the constituencies often, it's because we have to stay in parliament and push through the bills, because we're having a hung parliament. Just one person of us not being in parliament could mean that the NDC could win a vote. So that's the point they're making. All right. Police arrest tanker driver over adulteration of fuel at Bost Depot in Kumasi. MPA removes price stabilization recovery levies on petrol, diesel, LPG for 2 months. So while this is commendable, I'm wondering why just 2 months?
I'm wondering how long we are going to pay for the 2 months after the 2 months. Because, okay, you know, it's like a holiday, okay, and then you come back and then it's like, yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, but the purpose of this, and it's important that we get to understand what this levy is. So it's called the Price Stabilization and Recovery Levies. So the price stabilization is supposed to, it's slapped on it. It's a levy that's put on the price so that at times like this, when we're having high prices,
they can take it off.
You can actually
use the
take
reserves to
reduce the price.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be out of place for them to say, we've gathered some money
so we're gonna
over the period, so we're actually going to use that to reduce or subsidize the fuel.
Hey,
so,
let's break the 8. All right.
Secondly, Takrady MC launches portal to monitor infrastructure development in Takrady, so to say Kumasi. Northern Region Police Command impounds 344 unregistered motorcycles. And you know, the police are, you know, these days, they're really out there.
Yeah.
And clamping down on registered motorbikes, yeah. And they position themselves at vantage points, usually around traffic lights, and then they're waiting for.
They're waiting for them. You see how the motorbike riders will be coming when they see the police will, then they try to do like a 360.
No, sometimes they'll reverse and be riding against traffic. 4 donor countries support Ghana with AstraZeneca vaccines. That gets me wondering, what's the state of the vaccination drive? It would be good to get an update on that. Yeah, and let people know where they can go for their vaccines.
I'm also interested in knowing, because you know the efficacy of this vaccine does run out after a while.
Okay, so when are we supposed to be getting the booster jab?
That's what I'm not sure of, and what the plan is for that.
We have to wait.
I know we have to wait, but you see that it seems an almost pointless exercise if you don't follow through to the end.
Yeah.
So that you get full efficacy, you know, full protection, whatever. Anyway, okay.
So those of us who've had it already, we should be looking at maybe like a year next year. Hopefully there'll be a whole lot more vaccines
next year
in town. Yeah. Boem Traditional Council receives a report on wrongful installation of a manhene. MPA moves to improve petroleum trade between Ghana and Burkina Faso. And yeah, I believe that should be it. On the back page, stars chase double over warriors. Lands Ministry inaugurates advisory board for large-scale mining sector. Yeah.
Okay, well, on the front page of the Daily Guide, the Serbian president says Akufo-Addo is one of the wisest. Interesting. Okay, international news. Basically, you've done it. But outrage over viral Nigeria school flogging video. So the head of a Nigerian Quranic school has been suspended after a video was widely shared showing students getting brutally punished. One clip shows 4 young men severely beating a young woman with a stick-like object as onlookers watched. The father of the student told BBC Pidgin he had approved the whippings. Baumia Outdoors Legal Service Board, man commits suicide after setting house ablaze. Akufo-Addo's daughter finds love in Juma's son. Oh, I'm going to read that. Okay, so Kwabna Juma, son of the managing director of Gihok Distilleries Company Limited, Maxwell Juma, aka Kofi Ghana, has tied the knot with the third daughter of President Akufo-Addo, Edwina Nana Dokia Akufo-Addo. It was a private traditional marriage ceremony which took place at the presidential. Oh, we do love, don't we? It's so emotional. I didn't lie about my wealth. Can we like play a love song or something?
Oh no.
After the.
Let's get on with the news review.
It's raining. It's a romantic morning. What's wrong with a little bit of love?
Okay.
Exactly. Flora Tissue. Okay, Whoopi Goldberg receives apology from Barbara Corcoran. What did she do? Shark Tank star Barbara Corcoran has apologized to Whoopi Goldberg after Corcoran was accused of body shaming Goldberg on The View. Oh. Oh, wow. That's not even funny. Anyway, I didn't lie about my wealth, Beverly Afaglo. I said, close 37 lorry station drinking spots. Drivers tell police. Drivers operating at the 37 military hospital lorry station have appealed to the Ghana Police Service to close down drinking spots operating within their station to prevent drivers from drinking. Mr. Hanson Blade, chairman in charge of 37 Numbers 2 Drivers Union, said even though drivers have been advised not to drink whilst at work, some sneak to have drinks at these spots. What's funny is the drinking spots is like near a lorry station, near a hospital. Wow, it's almost like the fufu on the pavement situation. Okay, virtual hub to host Felabration Music Festival 2020. Felabration. Okay, I figured it has something to do with Fela Kuti. Do you like Fela Kuti?
Not really.
Not really. Okay, back page. Beat them again. Envoy tells stars as they battle Zimbabwe today. That match is at 1 p.m. Tadi Bronya Marathon returns in December. And I'm gay. Referee admits. So James Adcock is a familiar figure in the English game. He's done about 500 games and he just came out. So.
Okay. Out of the closet. So we'll go to the finder. MTT rakes in 1.8 million cedis in fines from motor traffic offences in 9 months. Okay, that's good. But I actually believe that they could make a whole lot more. 1.8 million is just chicken change. You should be able to make, because people are so indisciplined. There's so much indiscipline on the streets. And if they decide to profit from it. Yeah. I mean, I'm talking about how much money they could make, the police could make from.
Yes, please.
From.
All right.
Government to lose 58 million cedis monthly for zeroing price stabilization and recovery levies on fuel. So, so I see this headline. I'm like, okay, no, it's not for government to lose. Government is taxing us, okay, to stabilize the price.
So they're actually just using money that was meant for this.
They are not even using the money. They say, hold on, we're not taxing you. We're not levying you for 2 months. That's all they're saying. Okay? But that levy, anyway.
I guess the levy had been allocated to do something.
Okay, so...
this is what the levy was allocated to do. So what's the issue?
Exactly.
It's just a bit sensational.
Except we're not even using it to bring down the price. We're
just not collecting it.
We're not collecting it for the 2 months. Okay, and Business and Financial Times markets upbeat about resilient cedi ahead of festive season. Okay, and President OK zero levy for 3 fuel products, and AGI calls for extension of zero VAT for textile makers. RCV's 458 million cedis locked up with investment companies. Okay.
As well, it's 7 o'clock. Can we just try and do my journal
right, so
before we
yeah,
hand
let's do
over?
my journal, please.
Okay, so quickly, my journal. Akufo-Addo is one of the wisest in the world. All right, a great erudite. That's according to the Serbian president.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
And then we support anti-LGBTQ plus bill, Anglican Church of Ghana. Okay.
There's an urgent need for database of mental health cases, clinical psychologist.
And then Afra Jang Domahini declares support for anti-LGBT bill. NDC suspends Central Region Communication Officer.
Yeah, he's the one that allegedly slept with his daughter and had an abortion.
JoyNews uncovers how GRA staff aid businesses bidding for contracts to circumvent process. Akufo-Addo receives Serbia's highest national award. Issuance of fake tax clearance certificates at GRA, not surprising, but chairman of the Internal Audit Agency. And nearly 67% of Ghanaians attribute causes of poverty to corruption.
That's an interesting one. Maybe we can talk about that, because I think that, I mean, it could be true, obviously, because there are some things that must be done by the state. But we're also a people who like to blame other people for stuff, you know, and so, yeah, you know, how...
So we had an extensive conversation on this. It's research done by UNICEF.
Where was I?
You were away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we did that, and there were people also had
so
other
who's the
opinions.
we, if it wasn't you and me? Anyway, never mind.
JoyNews.
Okay.
Okay, and there were people who also had the opinions. We posted it on Facebook, and it turned out that a lot of the people agreed with the research findings. So
That's
the people who
corruption.
were talking, yeah, there was corruption. People mentioned corruption. People mentioned greed on the part of politicians. They're trying to amass all the
wealth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyways, this is still the AM show. Coming up after this break, Oreku, I haven't seen him yet, but Oreku will be bringing us the sports. So don't go anywhere. It's the AM show.